For those online, I did not set up the link for the chat box, but if you have any questions, you can email me at minister@uucsi.org, and I will get you all the information you need about our annual meeting. Also, for those that are online, I'm going to invite Sally to record the service as well as unmute the computer because we can hear you live in our sanctuary. So please stay muted until we invite you to speak, but we're so grateful to have all of those who are online joining us this morning. Welcome everyone. We're so grateful that you're here. Welcome to this very special joint intergenerational service. I want to welcome you from out of your homes for those who traveled far distances to get here in Staten Island, or for those that are joining from the comfort of your homes, welcome. I hope you find a way to get comfortable, to relax in your seat and open your hearts for the spirit of worship. I am the Reverend Emily D. Tarbert, and I'm grateful to be joined in this service with the Director of Religious Education, Jil Novenski, from the Community Church of New York. And I'm thankful for the others of Community Church of New York who are online with us, such as Reverend Chris Long and Esther Rosado, who are fantastic, wonderful religious leaders in the community. We're just so grateful that you're all with us this morning. I open our service with words from Reverend Nanan Ayaz Soto, who says in their poem, Spilling the Light, "The chalice is a reminder that what flame we keep inside of us cannot light the way. The light must spill to shine." Over the last few years of this pandemic, our congregation's families have had the opportunity to join each other in the religious exploration provided by Community Church of New York. Because of this generosity of spirit and sharing, together our communities have shared and spilled the light of our faith. Our communities have been made stronger because we choose to spill and share the light of this faith. Spiritual community can only sustain itself by the ways that we choose to collaborate, connect, and share. The wonders of our Unitarian Universalism is in the choice to journey with one another. So today, I want to especially invite the children and families who are present with us, both from the Unitarian Church of Staten Island and from Community Church of New York. And I want all of us to listen to the stories of church family and spiritual community. Let us share our passion for our spiritual homes and discover what it means to keep the flame of faith alive. Right now, I invite you all to rise and sing with us, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. For those with hymnals, it's going to be 361 in the gray hymnal, but also you'll see the words on our screen. And for those online, you'll see the words on your screen. Please sing along.
Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Open your hearts and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
I invite Eric and John to light our chalice this morning. Yeah, your dad may have the words for the chalice lighting. Is it in the worship guild? Sure, yes. All the children, please. I will light the candle while you say the words, okay? You can grab the microphone from Jill. You can get the handheld mic.
Oh.
Jill, can we have the handheld mic? Sorry.
Flame that starts with one tiny spark that can so quickly spread reminds us that good ideas, loving acts, and peaceful thoughts can spread quickly too.
It may be a little humid to light the candle today, but I'm going to invite Jill to come forward and lead us in the song. You'll see the words on the screen as well, a flaming chalice, while I continue to light our chalice.
Please join me. Let me take my mask off. Woo, liberty. Ready? Flame. Flaming chalice burning bright. I'll follow your key. Yes. Flaming chalice burning bright. Now you share with us your light. May we always learn to share with all people everywhere. Flaming chalice burning bright. Now you share with us your light. May we always learn to share with all people everywhere.
And I realize I haven't introduced myself. I'm Dave Michaels. I'm a member here with my family, Jade, Eric, and John. You saw Eric and John up here a moment ago. And actually, you'll hear them play a little violin later. But now is the time in our service when we do joys and sorrows. So if you're visiting us for the first time, feel free to introduce yourselves. We'd love to know who you are and say hi. For those gathering in person, we invite you to raise your hand and then stand where you're seated and speak aloud your joy or your sorrow, if you'd like. Emily will give you the microphone to speak into. So yeah, we invite you to just share what's in your heart. It's a little different for those of us who are joining us online. I think in the past, we've just said it in the chat box and Sally or Emily would share, but we're actually going to invite you to raise your hand. And when we direct you to come off mute, we have it hooked up so we'll be able to hear your voice. So we invite you also to share what's in your heart.
Who would like to share something with us for joys and sorrows this morning? Yes, Kathy.
Yeah, I'm Kathy. We had a sorrow this year recently. My daughter Kate, which some of you know, is in Vancouver, and she suffered a miscarriage last week. So, but she's much better now and taking care of the baby. Her firstborn is Victoria, so she's doing okay now.
Our hearts with Katie. Yes, Allie.
I'm Allie. Just many of you know, Tuesday we're coming up on May 17th, which is the 1-year mark since Tom died. So we have heavy hearts this week in our family.
Hi, I'm Chris, and my joy is that my granddaughter Violet is joining us today. And if she were to speak, her joy is that her classmate Isaac is here today. So he was a big draw, and Isaac and Ivy are also bus driving mates with them. So it was a twofer. So
We're so grateful that our kids are here and our hearts are with you, Allie, and your family. I see Rhea.
I'm grateful for my family and my papa, my mama, my grandma, my grandpa, my Grandma Marie, Grandpa Phil, aunties and my aunties and my grandpas, and my brother and my other grandpas, and Grandpa Billy, my papa, mama, my grandma.
thank you, Ria.
Thank you, Rhea. It is a blessing to have family and to bless every single member of your family. It is a beautiful thing. Thank you so much. Who would like to share this morning? Yes.
Later today, I'm going to have a violin recital. Yeah, and John. Because we're gonna play this piece nicknamed the Bach Double, and we're gonna do it together because it's a duet.
Thank you, Eric. Yes. Congratulations to both of you, Eric and John. Any other joys or sorrows? Yes. Hello.
Hi, I'm Jim Franz. And believe it or not, I'm the baby of my family. And my sister, who is 88, who's basically, through a combination of health issues, been house confined since September of 2019, except for a couple of stays in hospitals and rehab centers, is now back in the hospital. And she was not doing well, but she's doing a lot better now. So it's a combination of the sorrow and the joy.
Our prayers with her, but grateful for the continued healing. Anyone else who'd like to share? Yes.
I don't mean to top him, no, because I can't. See her, that was a joy. Doing great. And her kid brother, my father, 96, turned 96 on St. Patrick's Day. In Vermont.
Lovely to see family, godmothers, and for a brother who turned 96. Your father who turned 96. Oh, congratulations. 1926. It's lovely. Yes. One second. Hello. I'm sorry.
Hi, my name's Sheila and I'm from Community Church, but I just want to say how joyful I feel in this space, which makes me feel like I'm back in Western Massachusetts for the first time since 2019. So this place is gorgeous.
I really appreciate you saying that, Sheila. This actually, talking about that, this building, this whole church was inspired by transcendentalists who came from Massachusetts, the Robert Shaws and the Curtises. So it really is a part of our history, and I'm grateful you noticed. Yeah. Anyone else who'd like to share today? Yes, hello, Katya.
Hi, so I'm Katya. This is Alice, my daughter. This is our first time here. We drove from Queens and she's being shy, but that's okay. Yeah, so we are grateful to be here. We really like the space and the energy, and I mean the whole neighborhood. We actually were here like 2 weeks ago. We went to the museum, the Staten Island Museum, and the Chinese Garden. So yeah, maybe we'll be not regular, but we'll come and visit you guys sometimes. And my cousin's wife, she's going through chemotherapy. She has cancer, now she has COVID. So, so she's in our thoughts. So that's kind of what we've been thinking about too. So, yep.
Well, I appreciate you driving all the way from Queens to be here, and also our prayers are with your Donnie. Any others? Yes, Sally, and we're going to go to all of you who are online.
Hi, this is Sally. I got to put the spotlight on myself. How do you do that? Anyway, I have a kind of a joy, sort of. I was at the bagel shop on Forest Avenue, and I peeked at the Staten Island Advance. And the first paragraph, the headline, was a member of our church, Claudette Duff, she was spotlighted for saying something at the community board about in support of the LGBT community marching in the St. Patrick's Day parade. And I said, whoa, yay. But she's not here today, but shout out to Claudette Duff, wherever you are.
Appreciations for Claudette Duff and for the hard work of Claudette Duff and others, the Staten Island Pride Center, who are fighting to make sure that they can join the St. Patrick's Day parade here on Staten Island. It's great. All right, I'm sure that you have some that are online who might want to share. Please turn on your cameras, raise your hands, and let us know if you want to share a joy or concern. I see a hand. I don't know if you're Thomas, but go ahead and unmute and just go ahead and talk.
Hi, I'm Thomas. My joy is that today it's my friend's birthday, and she has a party, and I'm going at 1 o'clock, and that's my first joy. Then my second joy is that we just had a new bagel place that just opened recently, like 2 to 3 blocks away.
Wait.
And my mom has a joy and a concern too.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Mindy, Thomas's mom, and I have 2 concerns. My Aunt Bonnie is in the hospital as of yesterday, and we're not sure what's going on. They found a tumor in her thoracic cavity, and we're just all very worried about her. And then my stepmother is having surgery on Thursday. Again, we're not sure what it is. But we're all just needing support and prayers.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thomas, congratulations on your party and a bagel place. I love a good bagel place. And just prayers for your aunt and for those who are sick and in need of healing. Is there anyone else from our Zoom space who would like to share today? David, I saw you got off on your camera. I don't know if you have something to share.
Let's see, there we go. I was just going to mention that the reason we were not here last week was we were upstate celebrating the 50th anniversary of Genesee, peace action. I noticed that a lot of the members were a little long of tooth. But besides that, there was still that energy and vibrancy that comes with knowing that you're on the right path.
Amen to that. It's good to hear that, David. Thank you. All right. I don't see anyone else's hands up. Is there anyone else here? Then I'm going to invite all those that are on Zoom to stay muted, and we're going to enter into a time of reflection and meditation this morning. Let's take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Oh, Spirit of life, we are grateful to be here together. We are grateful to share with each other our joys and our sorrows. We know that there are those in our community who are sick and in need of healing, those who may be scared because of their illnesses, and those who are grieving, whether it's anniversaries of loss or whether it's recent losses. For all of those people, we send our love, knowing that whenever we share our sorrows, we are greeted in community with love. Also today, we've had many joys. Joys of parties and events, joys of being here, joys of new bagel places and adventures, joys of going on the right path of action and being together. We know that when we're in community, our joys double and triple because we get to share them with each other. For all of these things, let's take a moment of silence to reflect on those joys and sorrows that may still be in our hearts. For all of those things that are in our hearts and for so much more, we say amen. I invite us all to sing our next hymn, Spirit of Life. For those in person, it'll be number 123 in your gray hymnals. You'll also see the words on the projector, but for those online, you'll see the words shared on the computer screen.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea. Move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Many years ago, in the land of Transylvania, in a mountain valley watered by quick rushing streams and shadowed by great forests of beech trees, there was a village of small wooden houses with dark shingled roofs. The people in the village were of the Unitarian religion, and they wanted a church of their own. A church set on the hillside, they decided, looking down upon the village as a parent might look down upon their sleeping child. So all the people of the village labored long and hard to build themselves a church. The stonemasons hammered sharp chisels to cut great blocks of gray stone, then set the stones into stout and sturdy walls. The glaziers made tiny glass panes and fitted them neatly into the windows with leaded lines. The foresters sawed tall beech trees into enormous beams and laid the trusses for the ceiling, then covered the roof with close-fitting wooded shingles that wouldn't leak a drop of rain. The carpenters carved wood for the pair of wide opening doors, setting them on strong pegs so that the doors hung straight and square. A bell was brought from a faraway city, then hoisted by ropes with a heave and a hoe to the top of the tower. The weavers wove fine cloths for the altar table, embroidered with flowers and edged with lace. The smiths hammered black iron into tall lampstands and hammered thin bronze into shining oil lamps. Finally, when the building of the church was done, the painting of the church could begin. Painters mixed bright colors, royal red and shimmering gold and brilliant blue, and everyone in the village came to decorate their church. They painted flowers, they painted trees, they painted designs around the windows and different designs around the doors. And at the end of the day, when it was all finished, when their church was finally done. All the people of the village stood back to admire it and then to sing a song of happiness and praise. Their village had a church now, a church set on the hillside, looking down upon the village as parents look down upon their sleeping child. Everyone can eat now, announced the elder of the village, because everyone was hungry after the long day's work. And later tonight, we'll come back to pray. So the people of the village went down the hillside to their homes and their suppers, all except one little girl named Zora and her father, who stayed behind. They had brought their own bread and cheese. They ate their food slowly, sitting on the grass on the hillside and admiring their new church with its strong stone walls, its tall tower, and its magnificent bell. After they had eaten, they went back inside, opening those carved wooden doors to go into the gloriously painted sanctuary inside. "Oh, look," Zora cried, running from picture to picture with her footsteps echoing off the stone walls. "See how pretty the church is?" She stopped in the center of the church and twirled around slowly. "See how amazing?" "Yes, it is," her father said, looking around and nodding with pride. "Yes, it is." "But," she said suddenly, "we haven't finished." "What do you mean?" "There are tall iron lamps standing along all the walls, but there aren't any lamps. The church will be dark when people come back." "Ah, no, little one," father said. "The light of the church comes from its people. You'll see." He rang the bell to call the people to worship, and then took his daughter by the hand and led her back outside. They waited on the grassy hillside next to their beautiful church of strong gray stone. The sun had set behind the mountains. The night was coming soon. Yet, in the growing darkness, tiny points of light came from many directions, moving steadily up the hill. "Each family is entrusted with a lamp," her father explained. "Each family lights its own way here." "Where's our family lamp?" "Your mother's carrying it. She'll be here soon." The many lights moved closer together, gathering into one moving stream, all headed the same way, growing larger and brighter all the time. Zora's mother arrived bearing a burning oil lamp in her hands. Their father lifted Zora so she could see their family's lamp high in its tall iron stand. All around the church, other families were doing the same. Soon the church was ablaze with light in every corner, for all the people of the village had gathered to pray and sing. All through the worship service, Zora watched the lights flicker and glow. She watched her family's lamp most of all. When the service was over, her father lifted her high. She took the shining bronze lamp from the lampstand. Its curved sides were warm and smooth in her hands. Her mother carried the lamp home, with the flame lighting the way. At home, Zora washed her face and got ready for bed by the light of that flame. "Mother," Zora said as she climbed into bed and lay down. "Yes?" her mother asked, tucking the red wool blanket around Zora's shoulders. "Father said the light of the church comes from its people." "Yes." "But also the people take their light from the church." Over on the table by the fireplace, the shiny bronze lamp was still burning. "And we have that light every day." "Yes, indeed," said her mother. "And even when we are not in church, even when the lamp is not lit, we carry the light of truth in our minds and the flame of love in our hearts to show us the right way to be. That light, the light from truth and love, will never go out." "Never?" asked Zora. "Never," said her mom. Years passed. Zora grew, and the bronze lamp came into her care. When the bell rang out across the valley to call the people to worship, she carried the lamp to church, the flame lighting her way. But it wasn't only on church days that Zora carried that light. Remembering to keep truth in her mind and love in her heart, Zora would keep the flame alive every day and pass that light on to others, and on and on and on. The light of truth and the flame of love are what have guided this beautiful collaboration between Community Church and the Unitarian Church of Staten Island. Spiritual community has grown, friend circles have widened, bridges and bonds have been built even when the path was too dark to see forward. Our shared values light the way, and together we're keeping that flame alive. Thank you.
Thank you for that beautiful reflection, Joe. And so, in the spirit of that, I have a question to ask our families, but also everyone here, everyone who's here with us. Why does spiritual community matter to you? Why do you want to come and show up at a church like this or a community church? Why are those things important? I'm going to go ahead and take, once again, pass the mic around and ask people here. I'll also ask those who are online if you want to raise your hand and speak aloud. But I'll start with that, and then I know we have some families that have prepared their own reflections, which I will invite back later. But I just want to warm us up. Why does spiritual community matter to you? Why are you here with us today? Dave.
One thought that came into my mind is that I think individually we all have blind spots. I know that I do. And sometimes when we come into community, you know, it's almost like if I had a little stain on my shirt and a friend of mine, like before I go out into the world, says, hey, can you wipe that off? You know, so I think spiritual community, people that we trust and love, and we know they have our backs, and, you know, they're not trying to judge us, but just we're trying to help each other along the path. So I think that's just what came to my mind. Just one aspect of what spiritual community means to me.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Yes, Rosa.
Thank you. Something that came to mind was that there are too many pockets of oppression and sorrow and things that are hard for everybody to do it alone. So we can feed ourselves food and we can work so we have money, but spiritually we need the support from each other to face those darkest times and to celebrate the lightest times. So community is very important.
Community is very important. Yes, hello. Would you like to share? It's okay to be shy. Do you want to say something and I can repeat it into the mic? I'll come back, of course. No pressure at all. Hi. Anyone else who'd like to share why we might be here today? Yes, Maureen.
Like Dave said, sometimes you come to church and you have that friend who tells you when you have a stain on you. I think also often I come to church because I see those people who tell me I don't have a stain, that I have a gift, or that I have something I can share in a positive way. So it's kind of the same thing, but from a different angle, that I come here because this is a community that I know will tell me the truth and that cares about me and that engenders me to care back equally about them. The stain thing is good too, though.
Both the stains and the gifts. And Maureen, you give us many gifts at the flower committee, at being the treasurer in the past. You've certainly given many gifts to our congregation. One of the reasons that spiritual community matters to me is because it is here that I'm able to explore different things around what I believe in. I don't have the judgment of I have to believe in one thing. I get the freedom to explore and determine what really matters with other people. And that's really great. Are there any online who would like to share with us today? And if so, I invite you to raise your hand. Thomas, is that you? I think I see your hand. Go ahead and unmute and share with us.
What I like about it is that, I mean, it's interesting that you do something different every day. We learn a lot, and it's fun to do. It's like, it's not that long. It's my favorite.
That is wonderful. And yes, it is fun to do. It's not that long, and we get to have a great time with each other. Yes. I'm sorry, what is your name? Hi, Afia.
Greetings, Afia is my name. And I'm thoughtful about divinity embodying the spaces where divinity is called forth and how we can do that solo, prayer in the rock and, prayer, spirit is there, but it's maximized in spaces where we're doing it in community. So whether virtually or in person.
Amen. Thank you so much for sharing. Really, being able to journey with others maximizes our spirit, our feeling of the divine, our ability to connect. It really does bring and center the holy, and I appreciate that reflection. Yes, maybe Isaac? Only if you want.
Going to Zoom church. Going to Zoom church.
Going to Zoom church has been really special for Isaac. It's been really special. All right, I think that there may be some families that have reflections on this. Eric and John, I don't know if you have a reflection. Yes. Is there any other families who may have prepared a reflection ahead of time? Do you want me to display the video that you submitted? Or do you want to go ahead and talk? Video? Okay. So we're going to invite Eric and John to join us and give their reflection, and then we're going to display the video from Rhea and Solel. Hi, I'm just going to give you this microphone. You can stand right here and just go ahead and talk.
Before I share what I think church family means to me, I would like to read the poem Some Keep the Sabbath Going to Church by Emily Dickinson. Some keep the Sabbath going to church. I keep it staying at home. With a bobolink for a chorister and an orchard for a dome. Some keep the Sabbath in surplice. I just wear my wings. And instead of tolling the bell for church, our little sexton sings. God preaches, a noted clergyman, and the sermon is never long. So instead of getting to heaven at last, I'm going all along. Church doesn't just mean the building you go to every Sunday to hear your minister talk about what a holy writing means. Church family doesn't even have to be just the people you go to church with. I think church family means a person or group of people that all believe in one thing in common and they connect together spiritually. For me, church family means the Staten Island Unitarian Church. It means Jill and the kids I meet every Sunday morning in the community children's chapel. It also means my friends, my violin and piano teachers, and my logic and philosophy teacher. It also means the people I played music with just 2 weekends ago at a Scottish fiddle camp. Church family also means the birds I feed every day on our porch, as well as the squirrels and dogs we meet in the park. It means the trees that provide the beautiful cherry blossoms, which remind us that everything passes away. But while it exists, we should appreciate its beauty. Thank you. What does church family mean to me? The word church is a translation of the Greek word ekklesia. Ekklesia comes from ek, meaning out from and to, and kaleo, meaning to call, and has to do with a group of people called out from one place and to another. To me, the ekklesia, or the church, are people who are called out to the same spiritual path. As for what my spiritual path is, I'm still figuring that out. Spiritual wisdom isn't just learning a religious text. It is a living process that involves everything in our lives. I do know that the spiritual path for me involves the search for meaning, figuring out what it means to live a good life, deciding what my ethics, morals, and principles are, and asking the difficult questions like, why is there suffering and why do we die? The community that helps you on this path and helps you answer these questions for yourself, this is church family. I think church family doesn't only mean the people you meet up with every Sunday for church service. The church family is much bigger than that. It is the entire community with whom you gain wisdom and spiritually grow. It is the people in this room, the kids I meet on Zoom on Sunday morning. It's my music teachers and the musical friends I meet, like this bunch of awesome fiddlers I met a couple weekends ago at a Scottish music camp. It's my friends and my homeschool community. It's my teachers, from my philosophy teacher who encourages me to make my own logic puzzles to my wildlife instructor who shows me how to skin a deer leg. It's also nature. It's the birds and squirrels that come to our porch every morning. I've learned a lot about the spiritual path from wildlife, the ocean, the forests. People sometimes say, you don't choose your family, but you choose your friends. In this case, you don't choose your blood family, but you choose your church family. However, I don't believe that. Every moment leads to the next. So in a sense, we don't choose our church family. All of us are here in this space together today because all of the past moments in our lives have led us here. Therefore, the church community is every moment and everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eric. Thank you so much, John. What wisdom to witness and to listen to this morning. Sally, I'm going to invite you to share the video of Ray and Solel that might be on the slide. Give us a moment to share that with each other.
Hi, my name is Solel Phoenix. Hi, my name is Villalobos Bettina Martin. Look now. I forgot what you said.
What are we here to talk about today?
Prayer.
That's right. And our church family, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who do we get together to pray with?
Doreen, Titi, Googie, Mama, Dada, Grandma, us, Ria, and me. And Titi T, Grandma Ree, Titi Doreen.
Wonderful. And what do you think happens when we get together to pray?
God listens. God listens more when we get together as a community.
Do you agree with that, Ria?
Yes.
What kinds of things do you talk to God about?
We talk about how to listen. Talk about what we're grateful for. Grateful for the unicorn. Grateful for rainbows. Grateful for my colors. Grateful for pink and red, and grateful for my socks. We talk about God. We talk about Jesus. Talk about the earth. About animals and books. We talk about a lot of things.
Wonderful. And do you feel that the people that you pray with, that you can rely on them like a family? That means that they are there for you.
Yes.
I say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We love you. Power to the community, power to the people.
Thank you, Ray and Solel. Thank you so much for your reflection today. Is there anyone else who'd like to reflect before we move on in our service? I want to thank all the families and all the people who are here with us and those who shared and those who haven't shared for everything that this has meant. And I'm so grateful you're here with us. It's now time for the offertory, I believe.
Yeah, like Emily said, it's now time for the offertory. We know it's the gifts of all of us that help support our ability to thrive and gather. For those in person, we invite you to drop your offering into the basket on the left of the stage as you exit into the parish hall after service. For those online, links and instructions will be posted in the chat. You can mail us a check, donate to the PayPal giving page. Please give generously as you can, if you can. Our offering will now be gratefully received. And while that's happening, I invite Eric and John to come up to play a Shokin Farewell after they tune.
Woo! Thank you so much. Each of our children and families here have helped sustain the truth-seeking, ever-learning, ever-caring, ever-holy sharing spirit of our spiritual communities. The Unitarian Church of Staten Island wants to thank the children and families, both of Community Church of New York and of this church, the Unitarian Church of Staten Island, for being willing to share together and create a special home over the last few years. We are stronger because you chose to partner. Therefore, I have gifts. I have candles for all of the children. So for those who are here, I invite you to come forward. For those who are online with us, please coordinate with Jil Novenski Send her your address. I am happy to mail you some special candles from the Unitarian Church of Staten Island. But for all of the kids, please come forward. Know that they're scented candles. If you need unscented, just let me know. I'll have a few of those too. One second. May these candles remind you of your spirit, all the things you cherish, the things you believe in. May these candles remind you that you're never alone. You have other people who are lighting your way. And may these candles remind you to keep your light shining, to share your light with the world. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being part of our communities together. I invite you back to your seats and let us sing together This Little Light of Mine. For those who are in person, you can turn to the gray hymnal, number 118, but you'll also see the lyrics shared on your screen. And for those online, please sing along.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
I invite you to join with me in extinguishing the chalice. Please say the words with me if you know them. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. For these we keep in our hearts until we're together again.
As Unitarian Universalists, we are called to keep the flame alive for our children whose spirits grow exponentially when our circle of welcome is widened.
For our intergenerational communities whose bond of faith burns stronger when we collaborate together, and as we honor the wisdom of the children and youth in our midst.
Together we share our faith and fellowship.
And make the world a little brighter. May we all continue to share with one another and work to keep our faith's flame alive.